Well, hello there, everybody. How you doing? Got a little bit of little nectar going on there. Yeah, it says, "Hey, we're live." I know we're live. I can see it happening in real time. So, welcome everybody. So good to see everyone. Let's see. It's Wednesday, isn't it? Already, what the fourth day of the new year. So, wow. Yeah, time flies. Yeah. So what's up? Favor be unto us all. I love saying that word. Grace, however you want to put it. It just means the very best of what life has to offer is yours. And I believe the very best carries over into the next realm. Because if the next realm is anything like this realm, wow, you're going to need all the favor you got. That's all I got to say. Make sure to fill up your uh money sack full, right? So anyway, nothing missing, nothing broken. We are prospering, and happy anniversary if you got one birthday. So hello, chat room. Elda Berry, how are you doing? Chloe, Deborah, New Yoda, go, good to see you. Bonnie, Melissa, Lost in Space, Bernadette, how are you doing? So I think I got everything there. Melissa, what's up? Good to see you. It is a hump day. Susan, good to see you as well. Rennie, good to see you. And Rennie, Happy New Year's to the other Rennie. Anyway, Lori, good to see you. And man, so lost. That's it, Chloe. Lost in Space. All right. Yeah. So got a lot to cover. Linda, good to see you. Linda Espinoza. I love that. Just kind of rolls off the tongue. So I really want to get into this because someone wrote to me and said, well, you were this Christian and for so long and now you're not. How can you be so sure that this thing called the occult, magic, paganism is real or any different than what you came out of? And it's a good question, fair question. And so I'm going to spend this hour dealing with that. It's going to be a good hour because here's the deal. Do you really believe magic? Do you really believe you can cast a spell? Have you ever cast a spell and it actually worked? Or have you ever attempted to cast a spell and realized it didn't work and you said to yourself, I knew it? See, if you say I knew it, then you never believed it to begin with. And, then you have those who look at casting spells as somehow evil, nefarious. Why would you want to cast a spell? Because there's a lot of spells being cast upon you. You go out in the world and brother and sister, I'm telling you right now, you are being bombarded by, you can call it witchcraft, sorcery, wizardry, religion, prayer, call it what you want. Hell, politics is witchcraft. Politics is all about casting spells. They just do it under the guise of calling it law. Talk about a powerful spell. Yeah. Hey, Gaza, what's up? Good to see you, my friend. Know thyself. Hello, abracadabra. You got it. So, cheers. Hope you have your favorite libation. Mine is spiced tea. I love it. So many good medicinal qualities. You got the cloves, you've got the cinnamon, you've got the nutmeg, you've got, just some pepper. Yeah. But yes, let's get into it. Wayne's World, and the party continues, John. Indeed. So, beloved abstract, he always had the sip thing, didn't he? Let's look at this. I put this together. I love getting into these projects because it allows, and there's so much cool energy. That's all I got to say. I'm talking the cool kind of energy, come on. There it goes. So here is my response to the question asked me, how do I know that magic is real to me? Well, because I did the same thing when I was in the ministry, when I was in the lay ministries. Yeah. In fact, the thing about it is, if you really study this, you learn to start casting spells really early. I mean, I can't tell you how many times Christians have told me to go to hell. Not to spell. I ain't going to receive it because, you see, I have something stronger than they do. So, shall we move forth? So, we all have a measure of the required ingredient. Topic for today's class is the main ingredient. You could say the key ingredient, the primary ingredient. You have to have this. And you all have it. We all have it. But you have to have this, and you have to have been, man, you have to know how to exercise it. You really do. Otherwise, it becomes, lazy, lethargic. Yeah, I mean, I could just go through a whole number of things, numb, weak, but we all have a measure of this required ingredient. In fact, this is why I know magic and spellcasting works. You see, it was so ingrained into me. It permeated the way that I perceived reality, perceived everything, God, the people that I was in coven with. We are technically a coven. In fact, you could say a channel is a coven, as much as you could say a channel is as much a church. But anyway, so this element that we all have, and most never exercise it, and those that do usually exercise it in such a manner that brings them more harm than good. So remember these words. There'll be a quiz at the end. Calling those things which be not as though they are real. Is there anyone who would like to come on and debate me that this is not only the standard, it is the standard of all principles, all laws of science, of nature, were brought into existence? Calling those things which be not as though they are real. Yeah. Let that sink in. Calling those things, now this is spellcasting. Calling those things which be not as though they are real. Abracadabra. I create what I speak. You could say as well, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. In other words, whatever your soul or your spirit is filled with, you normally, and it's amazing because we'll put these firewalls up. It's a way that we keep ourselves pacified. But you hit your hand with a hammer, I'm going to find out real quick what's in your spirit. I'll know exactly what your soul is made of, because you see, that's when all the barriers come down. When pain comes in that type of manner, we're going to find out really how enlightened you are. Are you one who curses? Are you one who shows no emotion, just kind of suck it in, don't say a word? How is it that are you one that dances around and say, oh, blessed is me, blessed is me, blessed is, I mean, how do you react to that? All these things work. Spell casting, prayer, rituals, your political party, your little social club, they all work because of faith. And you can typically measure your faith by those that you hang around with. Be a pretty good. Do you have friends who are basically they're so flippity that to get them to be quiet enough to think a serious thought is like herding cats? Do you have friends that give a lot of lip service, mental assent, but they never do the work? Or do you hang around people who challenge you, always challenging you to strive harder, to reach higher? That's pretty much how you can measure the level of faith. Now, I learned this principle in the book of spells called the Bible. That's what it is. But if you could be wise enough to discern, take the gold nuggets, the gold bricks, and apply those to your life, because those are sound principles that work. I learned this. It says, now get this. So we're talking about casting spells, why they work. Why do I know they work? Because I got the faith for it. I don't have any question about it. I don't question whether it's working. I don't question whether I'm doing it right. I know this. My faith leads my intuition, and they've never led me wrong. But this is a good definition to measure yourself by. I hope you remember it. Now faith is, get these words, folks, the assurance. What is assurance? Absolute guarantee. The title deed. What happens when you own the title deed? Baby, you don't have a mortgage. You don't have anything. It's yours. You own it. Of the things hoped for. Why? Because hope is required. It is a level, a predicator to faith itself. Now, the problem is most people stop at hope and never go any further. Hope will not bring it to you, but it is a part that will assist bringing to you. Let's continue. Being the proof of things, proof, absolute evidence. You could call this the word, baby. What's the word? Being the proof of things we do not see and the conviction of their reality. Even though not seen, faith perceiving as real fact what is not revealed to the five senses. You tell me where this is not paganism. Tell me where this is not ritualistic. Tell me that this is not what this realm is. Because the reality is, folks, look around you, you created it. It was your faith. Why? Somewhere within you, you have the absolute assurance, you figured you already own it, of the things. There's no ask you by that. Things can cover anything that you have desired, lusted, wanted, hoped for. You ever write it down, what you want? Yeah. Remember when we did that little group exercise, it worked? Folks, I don't know about you if you made your list. I have, and I've been checking it off. This weekend, we got another thing on that list checked off. It fell literally into our laps. So I have that assurance, the proof of things that I do not see. I don't need to see it to believe it. I don't need to see it. I don't need to hold it to know that it is real, even though I can't see it. Why? Because my faith is tuned to such a degree. Now I can continue to grow, and I will continue to grow. I'm still a novice at this after decades, but I am getting much better than I was before. My faith perceives as real fact what I don't need my five physical senses to affirm to me anything. They are outside stimulants to that which I am, and I am the creator of my reality. Someone wanted to know the question, well, what is going to happen when you die? You know what? I don't know. I don't know what you've created. I don't know what you have planted, whoever planted the seed into you. It's like someone told me, God bless, and I said, which one? And the person said, well, there's only one. And I said, who taught you that? They were shocked. What do you mean? I don't need 3 chemicals and 2 electrical stimuli to tell me that something is real. You see, I love my wife more than I have loved anything. Now, I can show you evidence of that love, but you'll never be able to touch it. You'll be able to see the effect, but you'll never see the true essence. The same with me and you if you have that same situation. So let's do this again. Because, folks, if you can get this, when we do our group experiment here, those of you that really get this, you'll be joining me and a select others that, folks, will do something that I don't believe has been done on a channel yet. Now faith is the assurance, the title deed of the things you have hoped for, being the proof of things we do not see, and the conviction. If you have conviction, there's nothing that's going to stop you in your goals, even if you die trying. Because you see, you've done something more than 99.9% of the rest of the humanity has never done. You are actually so convinced, even to the point of death. Think about that, of their reality. You know they're real. You know, I learned this so long ago that nothing happens here unless it's first done in the ethereal realm. Now, you don't need to be religious. You don't need to be an ideologist. You don't need to be any of that. Just be yourself. Just know that that is how it works. And even though we cannot see it, even though, if I have a little thing over here on my desk that says believe, even when it's beyond reason to believe. Great heroic acts that we hear, particularly out of war. And war is a place where true conviction is on display. You know, I often think about those flight crews back in World War II that used to do the bombing raids in the Lancaster B-29, B-27. The worst position on a B-29 was the tail gunner. It's really what's called the portable coffin. I happen to know a man that was a tail gunner, got shot down, not once, but twice. But he said, I asked him, I said, so Holland, how do you process that? He says, it's interesting. He said that when they would get, and the battles sometimes would last, you know, depending on the target, they would come in waves. They could be intense for what would be a long duration. And if you made it out of that, then he said the intense quiet, even though you had the noise from the propeller engines, he says it's like you're not even there. You just doesn't even affect you. But anyway, it is a place where you find out where your faith is centered. We've lost that. Here's another one. Now faith is the substance. The substance. You think about this. Meditate on this. Your faith is of that substance. It's what your spirit is made of. It's that same substance. It's not your body. I seriously doubt if it's your soul. But now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Other ways just to paraphrase it down. Now, when I do my spells, my magic, in my mind, it's what I create from. I know that there is a never-ending reservoir of this substance. And you can, if you can meditate and get into that place, you can actually mine. It started out as this blue. It's become almost a deep orange now. It's places where I can get where I can actually hold this, not with my physical hands. I have other hands than these, but it's that same substance. So when I cast a spell, for me, it's very easy to lay hold to this substance. And this substance is amazing stuff. I mean, it can be anything. Anything. I know those beings of a higher intelligence and a higher state, they grasp this even more than I do. There are those that walk this earth that have this understanding that far exceed me. I'm just a neophyte at best. But I do know of the substance. I know it's as real as the fact that I'm sitting here supposedly breathing air. Anything not proceeding from faith is fear, because you see, the faith is there regardless. It's there. But the thing about it is that in these energy fields that we evolve in, you see, fear, as I was told, is basically reversed faith. You could say perverted faith, contaminated faith, but it's still of the faith essence. Many people have fine, articulate fear faith. They will believe their faith is so in tune to fear that to them is real. And you think about it, it's really nothing more than drawing off of this substance. You can have people that are definitely afraid of some phobias and what have you. They don't exist, but they will bring them into existence. Why? Because they're creating with the same substance, this substance of things. It's remarkable. And so in this section, I'll close it off. Without conviction, faith or magic will not work. And if you're just going to dabble in it, if you achieve any results that produce anything, you could say it's either luck or you have someone on the other side or someone you're not aware of that is assisting you. We're going to learn how to cast spells on individuals as a group. Make them the recipient of this substance. But you have to have the conviction. If you have a mild curiosity, don't participate. Maybe watch as an observer and learn, but you really have to have the conviction that, abracadabra, so be it. Yeah. Okay. So we move on from there. It's like, okay, let me shut this down. So again, this is not something, it's not entertaining, but I'll tell you, it will deliver for you. If you're really success-driven, success-motivated, and, that carries over into the occult. All religions started out as pagan beliefs. And paganism goes way beyond any religion. It's why? It's because I can see groups of people coming together by necessity. And isn't that what most social clubs, churches, temples, when they come together, there is typically a focused need? It's amazing when people need help, they'll find a local church, hoping that church will have pity on them. But isn't it a shame that us who practices the occult, that hidden knowledge, that they don't come to us? Why? Even though they don't believe in that particular religion, yet they will go there because they think that they can get their needs. We could teach them how to do this and do it on their own. It's the old idiom, if a man is hungry, you can give him a fish and he'll be full for one meal, but he'll be hungry again. Teach him how to fish and he'll never be hungry again, right? So it's interesting. I'm seeing some of the comment. Bernadette, faith is knowing. I like that. Faith equals confidence. Yeah. I mean, folks, if it's what makes it work. All right. So we established the foundation. I mean, when we get into, our candle magic, I talked to someone yesterday and blew them away that they practiced magic, because magic to them was evil, Satanism, Luciferian, that's what magic represents. Or it's the hide and seek. But when I explained to them that it works and that they practice it all the time and they teach their children it, and I said, well, do you have birthday candles? Folks, you should have seen the look on this woman's face. I mean, it was priceless. And I'm not grinning it mischievously. It was just priceless, because you could see the logos of the rhema of the word, that it's like, she didn't say anything else. She went and talked to my wife, but wouldn't say anything more to me. And why? My wife tells me she's afraid of me. I said, that's a shame, being afraid of me, But, sometimes knowledge can be a little frightful, It's just kind of interesting. So we're going to figure this thing out. We're going to learn. We're going to be dressing. There are different things. So I want to show you, and I'll give you a little lesson. So I did a green candle. All right. I dressed the candle. I anointed it, with particularly oil that I had here. And this was, I knew it would work. I just didn't know to what degree it would work. So I used, let me see, get that in here so you can see. This is money drawing oil. And then took the candle and then inscribed on it. Let me see, I can't find that. Well, anyway, I'll show you how we're going to get it. You can get just a regular stick pin, and I thought I had one right here, but now that I'm looking for it, of course I cannot. There it is. I knew I had it. Again, little tiny push pin, and you can literally, we'll do this. We'll actually inscribe what it is that you're desiring. And that's crucial, by the way. Then we'll do a group exercise on this, and we'll see. So I did one that was designed to bring immediate luck. Not long-lasting luck, just immediate luck. So, I said, well, how do I test this? I mean, what happened last night when we got a check in the mail, completely unexpected money, came out of nowhere. But we knew, Lynn and I knew something was up. So I want to show it. And I'm not recommending, by the way, that everybody do this. I just did this because I wanted to see, it was one of the places where I could go immediately to see the effect of whether this works or not. So what I did is that I went up to the store and took $100 and went and bought lottery tickets. Now, how else are you going to test it? I'm not saying gambling, I'm just telling you what I did. Now, this is one of 6 others. We won a total of almost $1,400 and $100 worth of scratch-off tickets. And as you can see, here's this one. This was our largest. That was $1,000 winner. And I have other photos of the others. We did very well at getting, there were a number of them, 3 of them that were $100 winners. And we did exceptionally well on this. So, however, I am not saying that you should do this. This was me, and I just wanted to see. Now, you could just say that that was lucky, but I know the odds on the lottery, scratch-offs, and what have you. Statistically, you're not going to make a fortune at that, I think, just going in. However, I think there's a way that you can bring that flow of timing at that right place. Hey, Isby, what's up? But how did that work? I tell you how it worked. It worked because I did exactly what these books that I show you doing. And it was a great way to affirm that, yeah, this works every time. Now, I've done one for longer. And again, we had money to show up yesterday out of nowhere. So, and I can tell you, over the myriad of emails that I get, there's a lot of people who are hurting financially. I dig it. We're in a twilight zone economy, to say the least. So it's something that every one of you can use. But you know what the difference is? I know it works. It doesn't matter to me whether it works the first time I go. It doesn't matter. It's settled and done. I don't question it. Now, as any good observer, I want to see, is there tangible results that can be seen? Possibly, in this case, going into a random game of chance, and I don't recommend that, but, it was, in my case, a way to prove the hypothesis. It worked. So, some are so quick to discredit something as accidental luck. But you see, here's the thing. Who wrote that? Joe. It's amazing. But you see, they use the word luck. What is luck? Now, there's people who says, well, luck is, merely, preparation that meets opportunity. And if you think about it, it's exactly what happened to me. I prepared ahead of time. I knew exactly what I was expecting. As I talked with Trina yesterday, when I worked in those healing lines, those healing ministry, when you had those crusades, the people that came up in that healing line were expecting to receive. Their faith was absolute solid. They knew that and the result is, many recorded miraculous healings took place. You can lose your faith. I look back and how I see Christianity now, all religions. It's a shame. They stole from the ancient Magi's, the ancient shamans and shamanwomens. They stole these works. I don't question why they work. I just know they do work. I mean, the first time I laid my hands on a person and saw that person physically get healed, what do you do on that? You just say that was a coincidence, accidental luck. I see a lot of things going on in there. Lady luck be with me tonight. Yeah. But as I told you yesterday, there are those that do that for a living. It works. They have no doubt about it. They know, this individual I'm speaking of, that they can go in like in the World Series of Poker. You've got over 10, 12,000 people there. And eventually the ones that it gets down, the top 300, but you want to get into that final table because that's where the big bucks are at. Now, there's nothing easy about that. I'm just going to tell you what, if you think playing poker is fun, wait till you have to do it as a living. When you have to sit at, a table with 8 other strangers you don't know, and you're competing against 15,000, you best have yourself an advantage. I can tell you, Magick will bring that. Casting spells will bring that advantage. Now, what I'm talking about, those in the gambling industry are well aware of it. Those that run casinos are very much aware of it. Who'd have thought, right? I'm just reading some of this. So, when does a job become a hobby? Well, I guess it's when you look at it, you're not working anymore. You're actually excited, and that's I've been there. And as I've told you before, you see, I used to perform this thing called prayer. I'd get down on my knees before I went out and made a presentation, and I say, God, just give me the strength, that to go forth and be able to present myself in a manner worthy of you, and give me the knowledge and the recall. What am I doing there? I'm casting a spell even upon myself. Because if God's out there, basically you'd have to look at God and heaven as a casino. You may be lucky enough to win. Most likely you're not. But no matter what, he's dealing the cards. Stack the deck already. It's like, Christ's sake, I can't get a 21 to save my life. Well, no. I love this subject. Okay, let's continue because I got other stuff to show. In what better way than to by the way, so there are spells you can do with pennies. I mean, folks, it's amazing. I've seen people, because I've been out with groups, that are looking and expecting, wealth and yada, yada, yada. But yet we can be out in public and they'll walk right over a penny, a nickel, a dime. They might stop and pick up a quarter. You see, I learned something. You see, that is also found wealth. I mean, a penny more to add to me is a penny more than what I had to begin with. But I consider that as well as potentially a sign. Money is a force. It's an actual substance. The thing about it is you have to determine, are you positive to that substance or are you negative to it? See, a lot of people want money. A lot of people desire money, but it's amazing how many few actually achieve it. And I'm not saying money is everything, but I do know this. I've flown in coach and I've flown in first class. And I can tell you from personal experience, I'd rather have my beautiful white ass in that first class than sitting back in the cattle section. Just saying. And I can pray all day long and hoping that God will give me a lottery ticket to win me a first class seat. Or I can go out there and begin to do things of my own and make sure and ensure that they walks in that way. That's all I got to say. So, man, where is the hour going by? Holy cow. I mean, is this like exciting or what? So let's just take a look at this one. So I found this was interesting. And so this is the old fashioned way. The thing about it is if us wizards and witches would only understand, and there are many that have figured it out, maybe we're just catching up. We've got this thing called the internet. Man, it's unlimited psychic energy, unlimited. So this one says how to cast a spell the old-fashioned way, without ingredients, without circles, without calling the quarters, without robes, and without any prayer. So to cast a spell, this is the old-fashioned way. Get that? I love this. Some small objects that fit in your hands that you can shake them, like little rocks, beans. You can use 7 objects for that magic touch, but more or less according to what you have, what you feel like, and what you want. There must be room in your closed hands to shake the objects about. From this form of spelling casting, you can use the following example: small stones, twigs, coins, seeds, nuts, bread, sand, glitter, rice, whatever. Don't use things that can shatter, as you will be throwing them with force. No glass and no fragile crystals, please. Something or somewhere you can safely throw the objects at or in. As we are throwing the objects out with great force, they can go all over the place and you can't recover them easily afterwards. This is not a problem when we use little stones on a riverbank, sand on the beach, or sticks in a forest. But coins in your living room are a different matter. Yeah, I can see that. Casting your spell into a couch works great indoors, or use a box with a blanket to catch the objects. And that's all the preparation you need. The rest is up to you. So let's get started with casting a real powerful energy magic spell. 1, your intention, faith for casting the spell. Love this person because she nailed it. Intention, faith. And that's what intention becomes so palatable, tangible. It's the faith. Be clear in your mind what you want to accomplish. When I do this, I literally see myself writing on this whiteboard. What is your spell going to do, and who is it for? Example, today I'm casting a money spell for my family. We will eventually do money spells casting for other people in the group. Why not? No different than having a prayer, isn't it? Explain further so you are really clear what you want. And this is the thing, I say this, write down what you want. So there's something happens when you write it down. For instance, you can say, I want my family to have lots more happy money, and this happy money will make my family happier. It's very important there, because money has also been known to bring death, sadness, destruction. Note the 3 happies are in there. We are making it clear that we want, at the end of the day, more happiness for the family through getting more happy money. That's really important to avoid problems with casting spells. And that's something we're going to get into too. If your intentions are not completely clear and you haven't really thought this out, it might be best that you hold off doing it. All right. So to be clear, we're saying abracadabra here because we want a positive outcome to the wish that we create. Wow. Wait a minute. So we create our own wishes? Yes. All right. So you got to raise the energy for the spell. And I love this. Shake the objects and raise energy. Move, dance, really let energy flow through you until you feel tingly and alive. May I say, if you have the place and the privacy, doing this naked in the nude? Yeah. You see, you have no lingering energy on you because of the clothes. Clothes do absorb energy. Keep raising the energy until you can't stand it anymore. I got this song, Doom, doom, doom. Yeah. Then cast the spell. Throw the objects out with force. That's the moment the spell is cast. So this is how that word of spell casting comes out. You literally cast out the spell. I love this stuff. You should feel a powerful surge of energy at the moment of casting the spell. that's your sign that it is done. Wow. Then give a big thank you. Tell the energies, thank you, the ones that have the influence of the flow of wealth, finance, prosperity, health. Listen, your economic standing is directly correlated to the level of your health by most cases. Poverty is not a fun place to be at. Poverty sucks. Poverty is a curse. Yet it's amazing to me how many people will succumb to the curse and try to do what they can under the curse instead of removing the curse. Your energy level tells you. So you are full of energy after casting the spell, and that's a perfect moment to do something cool, such as send blessings, give thanks to the universe, or do something else with the energy you have raised. Love somebody. Give somebody a hug, call them up, and just edify them, lift them up. That's how you really cast a spell. The more energy-filled, positive, loving, and generative your spell is, the better for you and everyone concerned. With a little practice, your spells get more and more powerful as you learn to raise more and more energy. Your energy body becomes more stronger, and you become likewise more powerful. It's a wonderful thing. So enjoy casting your spells, bringing more light, love, and joy into other people's lives, your family lives, with many blessings and lots of love. I love this. This is what it's about. When I have been practicing some of the spell work I've been doing, there's intense moments of where, wow, I'm overwhelmed. I mean, you just start weeping. Collect those tears, by the way. Have yourself a little tear thing, because those tears of joy are powerful. Powerful, folks. I can't tell you enough. They're powerful. All right, so we'll be getting into some incense in the coming days. I will be getting a lot more in, and so we'll be using some of this. This is from, as many of you know, the book that using incense with 850 rituals and spells. In here, I'm doing this my own. For my own reference, so I can immediately go in here. There's a whole area of uncrossing and removing curses or jinxes. Wow, there's so much we're going to get into. As you can see, for luck, this is the Japanese god Hote. This is a powerful individual. I like him. I get a sense of more male than feminine, but jolly is the word I would use. It says, when seeking special assistance, the Japanese god of good luck may come to the aid of those who use it. Place any specific request beneath the burner, and if you have an incense holder that has a burner, that's what we'll be talking about. And as the incense is lit, chant several times, Hote, Hote, god of luck, look at me and meet my eye. Hote, Hote, god of luck, help me now, not by and by. Let's see. Wealthy way. Keep poverty from the door by rubbing this on the doorknobs of the home once a week. This is actually an incense. I'll show you. I've ordered some. Whenever you can make your own, by the way. There's a recipe in here for cinnamon, sandalwood, others that are more readily available. But again, it's when I did the cinnamon ritual, what was it, about 8-9 months ago, maybe longer. Amazing how quickly that worked. Now, people, now where we live, we don't have any people around us, but I remember in the neighborhood we were in, people thought I was already well over on the other side of their reality, and they were right. But yeah, it says, whenever you need to acquire more money quickly, rub your body from head to toe with this before going out in search of it. We're going to be working with gold. So for those of you, and you can buy gold leaf, it's not expensive. Amazon has it. I know because I went there and bought some. If some of you want to be prepared in this, it's like 10 sheets for like $16. But yeah, just in case you want to do this. The home which keeps a small bowl of this on the dining table will be blessed with plenty. This is the incense, and there is the oils as well. This is vanillin mixed with frankincense incense. So if you have some powdered frankincense, you would mix this then with vanilla incense. And, so I'm still there are places you can get it. And in fact, as one person I found when I reached out, if you have some pretty high quality vanilla extract, or better yet, that which you've made, you can really begin to speak to it each day as it's doing its alchemy. Anyway, mixed with incense, frankincense, and burn each morning to assure good fortune shines on the home and all who live there. Time, I was not aware of this, guard the home and all those within by sprinkling across your doorway. Tin maker, favorite of New Orleans gamblers, used on the hands and wrist while playing. Sprinkle on the sheet or newspaper when choosing a horse, or on a bingo card before play start. Now, here's a funny thing. Someone was telling us that they knew a woman because they played, and my wife's mom used to play bingo all the time. But she said, very interesting. She says, that woman was doing what you just described. So we asked her, did she win? And she said, the damn thing is she did win more than the rest of us. Okay. Success incense, those who believe in this powder claim that it brings good fortune and prosperity to all who use it daily after the bath. Yeah. Spiritualist, used by seers, mystic, fortune tellers, medium, and psychics as an aid toward deeper concentration and to heighten their sensitivity to that message from the other planes may be received clearly, scattered about the room before a seance, reading a service, or aptly directly applied to the forehead. I've ordered some of this silver magnetic sand. To be blessed with monetary gains, keep some of the salt in an open dish in the home and place your cash on top of it at night. We'll let you know. Shishi, one of the popular agents used to attract good luck, use as a body power to entice good fortune your way, anoint money with it to make the cash multiply, sprinkle it across the doorway of a business to draw in customers. Sandalwood, a healing powder, which may be sprinkled on the candle holder, which contains a white candle. Place the name of the one who is ill beneath the holder and burn daily along with this prayer. Gracious Lord, look down from heaven, visit and relieve this sick servant. Grant thy help towards to return to health, for thou art our hope and strength. Now, you can modify this. I mean, I found it interesting that Lord was in lower case letters. So we know that that could basically be anyone. Working with the angels, you could probably put an angel's name in there. Just saying. Prosperity, there is actually an incense called Prosperity. Draws customers when scattered at the doorway of the place or business. Sprinkle on the body again after the bath, for it is claimed that one who uses this daily will never be destituted. Okay. Money drawing. There is actually that, and is actually also in, you can make up a special oil. Special formula designed to attract money. It can be utilized in various ways. Some sprinkle it on green candles they burn to draw wealth. Write the amount needed on parchment and place it beneath the candle before lighting. Others rub it on the money they have on hand in the belief that this will cause that cash to increase. Nothing wrong with that. You know, I used to tithe. Know why I tithe? Because I was told that there was a 100-fold return. Doesn't take a freaking genius to figure that out, right? And boy, did I give the money. That's interesting. Did it come back? Well, in some cases, yes. All right, sprinkle it on an empty wallet to magnetize money towards it. Now, this is this incense here. Others rub it on the money they have on hand. Okay, excuse me. To entice customers to enter a place of business and spend their money, sweep the powder back and forth across the entrance. You know, folks, this leads me to the Exodus story. When the children of Israel, the Israelites, were told what? When put the lamb's blood using the hyssop and paint the doorway. Here's one. Make a powerful gambling charm by placing in a red flannel bag a buckeye, which you have kept buried in this powder for 7 days. Carry the bag in the pocket and touch it secretly before placing any wager. Well, come on, folks. I admit this is money drawing salt. Sprinkle the salt in the cash register or money box at your place of business so that prosperity can frequent the premise. Salt is very powerful, very, it's crystals. And, you know, you walk your property, you sanctify it, set it apart. Salt's the way you do it. Let's see, put a pinch in your wallet and it will never be empty of currency. Well, that's worth this trying. As your bills come to each month, place them in a dish and sprinkle with the salt so that by the time they are due, the money will be available so that they can be paid. Mojo, wishing, an all-purpose magical hoodoo powder reputed to be exceptionally successful when used in affairs of the heart and monetary matters. I am ordering some incense and other things from a shop down in New Orleans, and I'll let you know what happens. But yeah, it's quite interesting. And why not? Let's see. Here's another one. Write your wish on parchment or the amount of money you need for a specific purpose. Roll the paper into a cylinder shape and tie it with a red thread or ribbon. By the way, I'm ordering specialized colors of ribbon. It's amazing what they can do and tied in with everything else. Place it in a conjure bag and add a pinch of powder each day for 7 days. By the 8th day, your wish should have come to pass, or you should have the amount of money needed. If not, wait at least 21 days and start again. It's interesting. It's almost like you have to reset something in the ethereal realm. Make your wish in sand. Write your desires on parchment and place the paper face down in a bowl or saucer. Sprinkle the sand over it as you chant, I wish this wish to come true. It is my want. It is my due. No harm can come to me from this desire. Its aim will benefit, inspire. Repeat the ritual often until the wish has been fulfilled. Magnetic sands is quite interesting. I did not realize such a product was here. It's available in several colors and by various names. These are generally used by sprinkling in front of a business to attract customer, carried in a bag with lodestones and other gemstones to increase their potency, or included with any other talisman in a charm bag designed to attract financial gain or good luck. Magnet, pat all around the neck and throat area to draw the magnetize others to do your wish. There you go. This powder is also said to draw money and wealth. So keep it so it can be kept in an open dish in the place where business is conducted or in the home. Here's one lucky spirit. The formula, which is prepared with the aim towards drawing the spirit, Valak, who can lead one to a good job, a sympathetic friend, or a lucky number. Sprinkle on the feet before going for an interview, on the hands when meeting a friend, or on the lottery ticket you have purchased. The powers may be intensified if the talisman of Valak is carried in the pocket and anointed daily with the sachet. Well, I'm almost out of time. We'll keep on with this. This is going to be ongoing because I want us to get good. And once we go through these, I think maybe we can meet in a kind of a poll and determine what we'd like to use, make an agreement. There's so much more to this. And as you can see, it goes for 38 pages, but that's what I do. Because then I'll eventually have these all completely cross-referenced and being able to do it. Paradox Fossils, how are you doing? Create a huge salt crystal. There is a how-to on the YouTube. Cool. A lucky number in your wallet or purse we use to drag a magnet in the sand at the beach. So, folks, like I said, this is not for everyone, and that's cool. I don't expect the views to be up there, but what I do know, that there are those that are listening and watching. You're going to participate with us in this, and it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be rewarding. Mary Wins, how are you doing, my dear? Isby, I love that. Creator in the universe mind is within us all. I do believe it. Deborah, well, thank you. Appreciate that, darling. Bernadette says the spell works. It does work. It really does. You know, now would I go out there and do that again? I was more or less led to that. And I don't want to confine just one channel. I believe that there is as many opportunities as there are the sands of sand crystals on a beach. You know, I say I put a magnet on my neck to kill the nanobots. I can see that. Know thyself, you are welcome. Try it. I mean, I am, as I told you, working with gold and silver. Wow. The first time I did this, and I know I'm going a little bit over, but so I said, all right, I'm going to do this. And I meditated on, all right, so how do I want to do this? Do I want to do this in a circle? Do I want to do this in, a different type of shape? And it was interesting because I just meditated, and what eventually it came is it looked like an Ankh cross. It had this thing here and it went down. And so I put the candle that represented myself after it had been dressed and inscribed, and then put it in the center, and then, of course, quoted some phrases over it as I was concentrating. And yeah, it works. That's all I know. It's interesting. All right. Thank you all. This has been fun. Thanks for hitting the like button. And wow, folks, other people have different ways of doing it. It's cool. I just found that this one is enjoyable. It cannot ever be perceived as evil. There's nothing evil about it. Nothing. And in my book, if it's not evil, then baby, lay a little loving on me. That's all I got to say. Just a little bit of loving, because it works. So there. Brian, 1958, thank you. You have a great afternoon yourself, my friend. And Mary Wins, you got it, my darling. London man, way to go. Chloe, much love to you. Yosley, this desk is my altar. It's interesting that you say that, Yosley, because, James, that's exactly what it is. mine, I have this large desk here, but yeah, it's sanctioned, and yeah, it works. So Joe, you're welcome. All right, so see y'all tomorrow. Have yourselves a fabulous day, and we'll pick it up here. This thing is going to work, folks. We're going to prosper out of it. It's the truth. Yeah. Whatever that truth may be. All right. Much love to you all. Take care. All right. No, take care. No, that's the worst thing to say to someone, to take care. It means that if you have care, that means worry. So what I'm going to say is take life. Yeah. That's what I'll do. All right.